Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cut My Music Wrestling Uncut. I am the Black Patriot.
Hey, I'm Arthur MD.
And this is the Wrestling Podcast, where we always put wrestling first because wrestling is the number one priority.
Yeah, we got a banger for you guys today. I think all our videos are bangers, but I'm gonna definitely say this is definitely a banger topic. We're gonna debate Mercedes Mone. Is she the greatest female wrestler right now? Or really, is she the greatest female wrestler of all time? Is she the GOAT?
It's the point counterpoint.
Yes.
It's not pro versus con, but I'm yay.
I'm definitely nay. Definitely.
Definitely.
Nay. Yes, hard nay. And so we're going to bring you that. And because we got really strong opinions about Mercedes Mone. She's a really divisive character. She's very polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you either on one side of the aisle or the next with her. Why
is that though?
Because I don't think she's the GOAT. Because the GOAT to me is undeniable. And if you got somebody who's polarizing, that means that there's no general consensus about this. Like everybody does not totally agree with this statement. So everybody does not agree that she is the greatest female wrestler out there. A lot of people disagree with that.
The thing about Mercedes Mone, and this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while because I consider Mercedes Mone to be the greatest female wrestler of all time. I've been a fan of her since NXT. Since I first saw her, it was just something, and I knew it was something about her because she is one of the 4 horsewomen, and I liked all 4 of them from the first time I saw them. It was just something special about them. I knew all 4 of them had it.
Sasha Banks, when Vince and them were booking her, when Dusty and everybody was booking her in NXT, it was good stuff. But also she had to actually work on her character, but then also her ring work was top notch. And I'll give you that. Yes, the 4 horse, she definitely deserved that. But it seemed like she actually cared, like she was actually, she had actual depth to herself back when she was Sasha Banks. It seems like now she's just become a one-note character. She's like a Roman Reigns. They can only play the jerk. Even when they're face,
she is a natural heel.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just her character. But that to me gets boring. To me, that also takes you out of it because guess what? To me, a great wrestler should be able to get you invested if they are face and if they're a heel. So if one just gets you invested, you'd be like, oh, this guy's just a great heel, but he's a terrible face. Or this guy's just a great face, but he cannot play a heel to save his life. That is not a top person either.
That is the thing about wrestlers who are polarizing. You get this huge divide in the opinions. I have never not been invested in a Sasha Banks or something Mercedes Mone was doing. I have always thought her segments were great. Any feud she's been in, any rivalry she's been in, she's a multiple-time women's champion in every single promotion she steps foot in.
She's a great wrestler.
The promoters have to see what I see in her. It's the fans that always say stuff about her.
She made her name in WWE. So when she walked out, she made herself a big name in the wrestling community when her and Naomi walked out. Actually, they walked out, I think, before, right? Didn't they walk out twice?
Sasha had a fit once, and then with Bailey,
yes,
and then a walkout with Naomi.
And then a walkout with Naomi. And that right there got her the name. Well, she already had the name recognition, but that right there to me made her bigger in the wrestling world. So yes, she is a name in the wrestling world. The downfall of Mercedes is not going to draw a crowd. She is not going to keep a crowd interested. This is why ratings are on the decline.
Not because of her.
It is because of her. Her character work is not big enough or good enough to draw people in.
And wrestling across the board. Ratings on every show is tanking.
But that's because they refuse to. So once again, I think with WWE and Paul Levesque McMahon are doing this on purpose to where I think Tony Khan is actually trying. He just is failing in his trying. But once again, Mercedes has creative control over her character. So if her stuff is failing, then that to me that is on her.
But she's not failing.
She is failing. She's only up.
She has multiple world championships and multiple wrestling promotions.
This only appeals to a small niche crowd. This is why AEW just stays either plateaued or the ratings start to decline. They only cater to a niche crowd of people.
It is not Mercedes Mone's job to bring AEW out of whatever they're in.
If you are getting paid Mercedes Mone money, this bitch is probably getting paid 10 to maybe 15 mil a year. She's getting paid top guy or whatever you want to call it money. So yes, you are getting paid that money. You need to be bringing eyeballs to the camera, bro.
It is a joint effort. It is other wrestlers there that should be helping move the company forward.
Yes, but when you are promoting Mercedes, Tony Khan
on her own merits,
oh my God,
that is what makes her the greatest of all time. She is the best wrestler in the ring. She is the best talker on the microphone, and she looks the best.
Bro, you know her mic skills is
when have I ever said that? She's the best in every category.
No, she's not. That you just said it right now. The
categories that make you a professional, you got to have look.
She cannot
talk. You got to have talk, and you got to wrestle. Look is charisma and all that. She has everything.
Mercedes does not have it. This is why she is polarizing. Because she does not have it. You can't deny when Jordan was on top that Jordan was the number one guy. When LeBron was in his prime, you could not deny anybody was better than LeBron. There was no polarization about it. Maybe an attitude, but like as far as like greatness on the court, yes, you were like, this person is number one. Mercedes in the ring, you can debate whether she is a top person in the ring.
She's the best female wrestler in the world.
She is not, to me, the best female wrestler in the world. I think Tiffany Stratton is up there.
That is ridiculous.
I think that she is up there. I think Io Sky is up there.
Is a better wrestler?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Once again, Mercedes has
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany has the look.
I could give
her mic skills are better, and her ring.
The way Io
ring work is good.
What?
Tiffany Stratton's ring work is good. Just because she did a squash match to Jade does not take away this girl's improvement. Yes, Tiffany Stratton has the look. She looks like a dominant person. She looks like somebody who should actually be in the ring, who can actually beat these women up because of her size. She goes in the ring. Also, her mic skills have improved from where she originally was. I'm sorry, I gotta give her props.
You cannot compare improvement to perfection.
But Mercedes is not perfection.
She is the best.
She can only do one note.
She's the best.
She can. When she was doing Sasha Banks, her mic skills, even with Sasha, was suspect. And she was when she would play a heel and when she would be a face. When now with the new Mercedes Mone stuff, she is cutting one note promos.
She is a heel. Nothing is wrong with her promos.
She came back as a face. They brought her back as a face. When she first debuted in AEW, she was a face. She had that cocky ass attitude which people rejected. Then she was forced to go heel.
And that's another thing that being a Mercedes fan since she started wrestling on the professional level, I've seen it. I be in these chat rooms. People judge her on her attitude more than they judge her on her ring work and her merit as a professional wrestler.
The attitude is a part of the ring work. It all goes together.
They'll be like, I don't like her attitude. Like you talking about something that you don't like about her personally.
That's her. No.
People talk about her being a bad person. Talk about her being terrible to the fans. Talking about being hard to work with. You are naming stuff that don't have anything to do with the Mercedes Mone character that I see coming out on the ring.
But that's what I'm talking about. Yes, people are criticizing. They do criticize that, but they are also criticizing her in-ring stuff. Her character work. She's a beast. Her character work. When she's doing that stuff outside, that's because that's her. She's like an asshole. She's like a bitch.
Okay. But that don't have nothing to do with her as the wrestler. But she can be a bad person.
But it does.
And we don't even know that she is a bad person. This is just perception.
Her ring work, when you snub fans and things like that, and then you come in with your character and doing that same thing, that means that this is who you are outside of the ring and this is who you are in it. Usually people drop the act. Like when somebody's a heel or a face, usually if somebody's a heel, they'll drop the act if they see somebody in public. So for Mercedes to be an asshole to somebody in public, that's just who she is. And this is part of her character work. I think this is really her, because they always say what? When you're doing character work, is you
turned up.
Is you turned up. So this is her turned up. So she probably is maybe a slight asshole in person or in real life, but then with this Mercedes Mone character, she's just totally obnoxious. She did it when she was a heel. People hated it because they're like, yo, is this bitch fucking, is she like a heel? She's supposed to be a face, and she's cutting heel promos and acting like a heel.
You said
she's unlikable.
When Jordan was in his prime,
yes, there was no
undeniable.
There was no denying.
So you're saying that it's subjective.
It's definitely subjective with her. We can argue. Every talking point that you have, I have a counter talking point for it.
The nail in the coffin for this being a subjective argument is the AEW Women's World Title.
Okay, she has the title, but once again, if you're not elevating the company with the title, then what are you really doing?
Is currently Stephanie McMahon elevating the company as the Women's World Champion?
WWE
did Tiffany Stratton elevate the company?
AEW and WWE are two separate entities.
It is a joint effort. It is not Mercedes' job to elevate the company.
TKO and WWE and Paul Levesque McMahon, they are trying to devalue WWE on purpose. This is why they're not creating more stars. They are devaluing it. They're going to devalue it to the point where they price everybody out and sell to Saudi. This is the whole game plan. This is why they're changing up their pay-per-view names. And we're going to go over that later
So their champions don't have to be a draw, but Mercedes has to be a draw.
No, because Tony Khan is actually trying.
When nobody in wrestling is currently a draw. I'm judging her on her own merit.
Okay. The reason why nobody in the main WWE, because WWE is the juggernaut.
Right.
The reason why nobody is a draw is because they're purposely not making anybody a draw.
I'll give you that.
Triple H is the face of the company. So
but if nobody is a draw, period, why would anybody? Nobody's going to watch AEW.
That makes no sense.
She's doing
Wardlow. Let's go to Wardlow. Wardlow was elevating AEW to where Wardlow was generating ratings. Wardlow was looking like Goldberg.
That ever generated ratings for that company was CM Punk. Off of CM Punk was the only time they were ever anywhere near a million. And when he left, it dropped, and it's never been back.
When they were built, because CM Punk was already a name. Wardlow was built from the ground up in AEW.
But Wardlow was not drawing. He could have, but
he didn't have long enough. His stuff, the ratings and everything were going up when Wardlow was on fire.
Mercedes must be a draw to be considered.
Yes, bro. If you're getting 10 to 15 million a year, if you're giving Roman Reigns money, you need to be pulling in Roman Reigns numbers.
Hold on. What about the fact that she is a multiple world champion? She is wrestling all over the world against different opponents.
Yes,
regularly.
And I'm not discrediting
12 belts, Monet.
I'm not discrediting her ring work. Her ring work is A+.
Why are all these promoters throwing all these belts at her if she's not because she's not her? Basically.
Because she is the most popular name, from her building herself up as Sasha Banks and for years in WWE, and had a large fan base, millions of people. So she has that fan base already set, and who knows who she is. Then she leaves the company. That gives her another boost in her name.
And people were hating on her for that.
No, people hated on her when she came back.
She's a baby. Her and Bailey crying about that.
Yeah, because she didn't like her booking, because they had her in a random.
She betted on herself and she took that gamble and it paid off.
They had her in some stuff. I don't know what was going on with them, but they had her in some stuff to where they had her in a tag team. Usually when they put you in a tag team, to me, that's like a devalue, especially if there's no feud going to come out of that. And so all of that just didn't make no sense. But I will give you this. She goes and leaves. That builds her name. So now when she goes to these promotions, she is a name, and these promotions think that she's going to help their belt. But it doesn't, because they do nothing with the storyline to tell you who these belts actually belong to. It's just her grandstanding with a bunch of belts.
That is false.
It's a waste of time.
When she defends her titles, all her title defenses does not happen in AEW. She's traveling to Mexico. She's traveling to Europe. She's traveling to Japan.
But this is a niche crowd.
These titles are being announced, and you know what they are from the matches.
A great should be able to draw eyeballs and ratings and maintain the people that are watching. That is greatness. That is a person who's doing Stone Cold,
industry that's
Cena.
Overall down.
No, it's not that it's down. All it takes, Tony Khan allows these people to do character work. He allows them to do character work. And these people, so therefore, this is how you get timeless Tony Storm, even though her gimmick is wearing thin. This is how you get that. This is how you get Mercedes Mone. This is how you get Cowboy. He lets these people do their work. But what I'm saying is, the work that these people are bringing, they are not good enough to elevate the company. They are for a niche crowd of people. Tony Storm is, to me, a number one person.
Tony Storm is
Tony
excellent.
Storm is not going to...
Great on the mic, great in the ring, excellent character work.
She doesn't have what it takes to really generate the niche crowd to get them invested in what they are watching. If she was in a different
era where wrestling was more popular, she would be a draw. That's the thing.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Not interested in the product right now.
During the 95, 96 era, this is when wrestling was on the decline. During those Bret Hart years. When Stone Cold came into the picture, Stone Cold revitalized the industry. Because Stone Cold, the person, the character...
But wrestling was not dead.
Wrestling was almost dying, bro. Do you remember the 95 era? Do you remember the 95 era?
The NWO kicked off in 1996. So there was definitely an audience that wanted to see wrestling. 93, that was still wrestling. 91, that was still watching.
91, 92, 93, 94,
WWF
and 95.
sucked, but WCW was doing good. The NWA was fine.
They were not doing good.
They were.
WWE was still the juggernaut in the industry, even though WCW was around. What got WCW ahead was the outsider storyline, and then the NWO. That's what got them ahead. Before then, WWE was on top of WCW and TNA, all of that different stuff.
You do realize
NWA, all of that.
That the final Nitro was hitting 3 million viewers. That is something Raw isn't getting. And we know SmackDown ain't getting.
You can't compare the parent product.
I'm just saying it was more popular.
No.
How can Mercedes Mone be a top draw in an industry that's waning in popularity to begin with?
No. It was waning in popularity in around 94, 95. It was waning. But then when the Outsiders and Stone Cold and these people came up, they elevated the game by themselves.
So you would say wrestling is more popular then than it is now?
I would say yes, because the casuals, because wrestling was huge, especially when the Hulk Hogan era. Hulk Hogan got a lot of casuals that have never watched wrestling into wrestling. So yeah, so therefore so that's millions of people.
So Mercedes is supposed to be getting casuals to watch AEW, even though wrestling in general is not as popular as it used to be.
If you are a special character, people would be talking about you to where the casuals would then want to check you out.
There are no casuals. Only wrestling fans watch wrestling.
If the wrestling fans were shouting for, were boosting up Mercedes Mone, then that would get the casuals to come in. The wrestling fans are not doing that with her.
This woman is the only female wrestler to win the NXT title, the Raw title, the SmackDown title, the IWGP Women's, that's the Japanese wrestling title.
Those are just titles. That don't mean nothing. Stone Cold has less titles than that, and this man is still the great.
But that's the men's side of it.
It don't matter if it's men's.
Mercedes to the other women. She's the greatest female wrestler of all time. I didn't say she was the greatest wrestler.
It doesn't matter. If you're going to say Stone Cold is the greatest male wrestler of all time, or John Cena, they don't have as many belts as Mercedes Mone.
John Cena is a 17-time world champion.
Okay, let's take John Cena out of it. Let's go with Stone Cold. Stone Cold was on top, but Stone Cold did not have that. How many titles did Stone Cold win?
6.
6 titles, and was around for what, 4 to 5 years?
Not that long.
Okay, so Stone Cold.
His career was actually very short as a main event guy.
But Stone Cold, they would say that Stone Cold and Cena are 1A and 1B. It's a hard choice between who's the 1A and 1B. What are you talking about?
Let me ask you this then. If it is not Mercedes, in your opinion, who is the greatest female wrestler of all time?
The greatest female wrestler of all time?
If it's not Mercedes, who is it?
You kind of caught me off guard with that.
Exactly.
I got to think about that. That's not
no one has her resume. Nobody is currently wrestling the way she wrestles.
No, because I have to think about the women who were
she has to go to Mexico and defend the Reina de Reinas title. Now she got to go to Scotland to defend the Rev Pro Championship.
That doesn't mean nobody knows who those organizations are. These are indie shows. It don't matter
if we know it. That she is a professional wrestler wrestling other professional wrestlers for professional wrestling titles.
But if she has creative control over her character,
do you believe that though?
Really? Yes, she said it herself.
But you think she's going to walk into the guy that's promoting the Mexican and be like, "You got to put your world title.
You got to put your world title on me because I'm going to get more eyeballs to it." Because even if you got 400K watching AEW, that is more than this little shit show indie fucking promotion is ever going to get in its lifetime, just in that one viewing. So yeah, they're going to put the belt on her.
So you think she demanded it, or the promoter was like, "This is a good
they probably paid her
to have my championship on Mercedes Mone"?
They probably, once again, if they're,
because that's what I would do.
People call you to book you.
Booker T said he would book the world title on her if he came to his Texas joint.
Because he knows that she is going to get eyeballs on the product, but it's a small niche eyeballs because it's bigger than what the little indie is getting. So once again, if AEW is averaging around, like, let's say 400 to 500K on an episode, that is 400 to 500K more people than that's going to be watching this little indie fucking show. Bruh. They going to put the belt on her.
I wouldn't know what the EWA championship was if she didn't have it. But you know why this is
terrible? Because all people know is she has these belts, but she does not promote the belts.
The belts are being promoted when she defends them. That's the thing. You have to keep up with her career.
No.
She is defending these titles.
No, you have to explain the belts in front of the mass audience that you are getting. So yes, you can go over here and defend these belts. Cool, you're wrestling. All right, awesome. But people have to care about the belts. And you get people to care about the belts on the show with the most ratings, which is going to be Dynamite or the Collision.
And she comes out with her titles all the time.
But she does not explain, hey, I just came from shit show Illinois and I got the WICT.
You sound like Cornette. Just because it's an indie doesn't mean it's a shit show. These are wrestling promotions. They're just small.
They're small wrestling promotions that get probably less than 100 people viewing.
I understand what you're saying, but you're making it seem like just because nobody knows who it is or nobody's watching it, it's not a wrestling promotion.
No, I never said that.
It's a professional wrestler, wrestlers.
It's a little wrestling promotion. Titles. And when you're wrestling in front of 50 people at a time.
Right, I understand that.
Okay, so when you go, would it make sense for this little company who's only getting 50 people a night? Would it make sense for them to say, you know what? Hey, we want to book you and pay you, and we're going to throw our belt on you, and we just want you to wear it. And then when you go out on TV, when you go out to Dynamite. Okay, so therefore, so that means her having these belts means
helping
nothing.
These small companies.
No, Kev, how can it help the company if she's not
explained it?
No, but
I'm going to watch it and I'm going to see the Rare Pro Women's title on Dynamite.
It's only going to.
I'm going to see the Queen of Southside title on Dynamite.
But the people don't know.
I'm going to be like, damn, that red belt look tight. Let me find out what belt that, because I've done that myself. I was like, what belt she got now? I got to go find out what that is.
They don't know, bro. The main people, if you coming out and just holding belts, it's going to get visual exposure, but you're not going to get the emotional exposure. You got to say, hey, I just won this title from AWC this weekend I just won this title. This is the AWC title, and I just won, and I beat so and so at AWC. That is how. Okay, now we have character work, and she's also boosting.
She does that sometimes.
But once again, if you only have a small group, if AEW appeals to a small niche group of people, the small niche group of people that are watching that, they are not going to sit there and see what all of these belts are. The normal
fans will.
The normal fan that is watching that is not, and the wrestling fans, once again, these people are not big enough to sustain the industry. When you start losing people, only the sickos or the hardcore stay around. If you were
a promoter in those situations, would you want your world title on Mercedes Mone?
No, because
you don't want it on Dynamite?
Because it'll just be worn as a prop. But if 400 to 500 K eyes on my belt, but they don't know who the hell my belt is. They don't know what the hell I am.
Right, okay.
It will not matter.
They just looking at it.
It's visual candy. But once again, you got to get people emotionally invested in my belt. So you have to say every new belt that you win, you come out and say, hey, I just won my 9th belt from WCK, whatever the fuck.
Right.
And then, and then you get people, WCK, whatever the fuck.
So you think she's burying these promotions?
She's not doing anything to elevate these promotions. All of these belts are doing is elevating Mercedes'
And
ego.
what about the women that get to wrestle her? These women that would never have wrestled a superstar probably never will wrestle anybody that ever been to WWE.
So, but what does it matter?
What do you mean?
You just gotta. So I got to wrestle John Cena. Who gives a shit if I'm not going to be anything after that? Who gives a damn? That's just symbolic garbage. The tangible.
Stephanie didn't get signed to WWE until she lost to Mercedes Mone. Because they saw that match, it was like, God damn, this girl is a beast.
Stephanie was booked as a beast in AEW. She was booked as a good. She had a good record in AEW.
She was booked as a beast in Stardom.
And then she went to WWE, but she was respected in AEW. She just continued with it. So yeah, and there's a reason why they put her in the match with her. Stephanie is not a bum.
Stephanie is a beast.
I'm agreeing with you. But just because you're saying that, it's women who wouldn't have the opportunity to wrestle her any other time, that doesn't matter.
They gonna get booking. They gonna be like, you were in the ring with Mercedes Mone.
No, nobody's going to give you booking off of one.
You never know who comes up. I'm
not
saying off of one match, but I'm saying what Mercedes is doing is she is making the rounds.
She's making the rounds, and all of this stuff does nothing but promote her. It boosts up her ego. She gets to come out with 15.
I think she's boosting up these promotions by wearing their titles.
Once again, there's no character work behind these belts.
I think she's helping out young talent.
There's no
by wrestling them. She don't have to do that.
This is what I'm talking about with AEW. There's no emotional investment behind any of these people. It's like things are just happening just to happen, and you just don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that Mercedes Mone is getting 15 to 20 belts.
I care. She just looked way more beast. Every more belt she get, the more beast she look.
You're part of the sickos. You guys are a small crowd. But guess what? The sickos are dying off.
She's proven that she's the best in the ring. She's the best at everything.
She's not the best in everything, and this is not proving anything.
And she has 11, 12 belts to prove that she's the best.
Gimmick. This has become part of her gimmick now, to where this is her gimmick. She has to do this because now she's become the belt collector. Okay, this is the gimmick now, and like I said, in this gimmick right here, she is going to get eyeballs on the belt. Cool, but if you are not coming out and telling people what these belts are and who you beat for these belts, boast that person up. This person had the belt for 300 and something odd days, or this person had it for 2,000 something days, and I beat this person at WCIK, whatever the fuck.
They did exactly that when she wrestled in Mexico.
They are not doing. You got to do that for all the belts,
so they have to do it on AEW TV,
so people can know. Yes, because that's the most views. You got to get it where it's going to get the most views. And you're going to have offer this large group of people. This is where you can build the support for what you're doing. But if you're not building the support for what you're doing, you're just doing it just to do it. And all this is doing is building up Mercedes' ego to have 15 fucking belts Nobody knows what the fuck these belts are and where they're from, and it's retarded. It's retarded.
You sound like a bunch of other content creators I've heard. So like we said at the beginning, polarizing. Either you're on one side or you're on the other side. Obviously, the side that I'm on is very
Is Cena the greatest of all time?
A strong argument can be made for Cena being the greatest of all time.
Cena is the greatest wrestler of all time. When it comes to generating money, when it comes to generating merchandise, when it comes to Make-A-Wish, all of that stuff. John Cena is number one. And when it comes to belts.
And why?
Well, he did
17-time world champion. Grand Slam champion.
Did you just miss everything else I just said?
20 years. So what does that mean?
Did you miss everything else I just said?
He's wrestled the most people.
John Cena.
He's been at the top of the card longer.
John Cena brought eyeballs to the product. John Cena. Casual fans know. My mom, who is 68 years old, knows who John Cena is. She can spot John Cena a mile away. She is a casual wrestling fan. John Cena got the casuals. He got the hardcores invested in this stuff. He was so polarizing within the thing there. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks.
Polarizing.
He was not polarizing whether he was the great. He was just polarizing at the time.
The reason why Cena is not my GOAT, why I said a strong argument, because Austin is. As everything you said about Cena is true, and he still was not getting the ratings that Austin was getting. Wasn't getting those kind of ratings.
I will give you that. Austin did dominate Cena in the ratings. I will give you that. That's when WWE was getting around what? 8 million.
Was more popular when Austin was
They were getting around 8 million
Wrestling
views.
is not popular now.
And what Cena was around, they were getting around 6. They were getting around 7, 6.
They were getting 2 to 3 million.
No, when Cena was on top,
4 million.
No, because they getting about 2 million now.
They never
Raw's getting about
5.
2 million now. No, because Vince was losing millions.
You saw the joy when Jinder Mahal was champion, 2.5 million, and
that was Jinder Mahal. That was when Cena was on was part timing, right?
Those are they never reached that same height. They have never reached that same height again.
When Cena was on top,
under 5 million.
So let's say 5 million. So let's say Austin generated about 8 million views, and let's say that Cena, because it was really Stone Cold and The Rock, if you want to keep it real. Stone Cold and The Rock generated those views, but yeah, Stone Cold was a huge part of that.
I do not.
But Cena did generate a lot of views too, and I would say around the 5 mil range. Because you got to remember, they also went away from the Attitude Era and went to the Ruthless Aggression Era, which that kind of got fans somewhat dropped off, because each new era, it kind of gets a little bit softer and softer.
It's wrestling more than Mercedes Mone. What woman? There is none.
Okay,
what
that
woman
doesn't
has
mean anything.
More wrestling world titles than Mercedes
That doesn't
Mone?
mean anything.
It does. It does.
It doesn't mean anything. If your character work is trash, if you do not have all 3 tangibles,
she has it.
The mic skills, the wrestling ability, and the charisma, the character,
definitely got
that. She does not have it, bro. This is why she's polarizing.
Polarizing means some strongly feel a certain way.
Yeah, she is polarizing. Yes,
she is polarizing.
Yes.
So what about all of us that feels that she is what she say she is?
Once again, AEW ratings are on a decline, or they are stagnant. So what you guys are talking about ain't mattering, because you're going to consume the product, then you're going to turn around and say the product is boring, and then you're going to continue to tune out of the product because Mercedes Mone is not strong enough to keep you emotionally invested into the product.
And she shouldn't have to.
And she is
the number. Her job to draw
her
like
and
that.
Toni Storm are the number 1 and 2. And so, yes. So it is her job. And she is getting paid Roman Reigns money. So you need to be generating Roman Reigns ratings.
There you have it, folks. You can't be the number 1, the GOAT, unless you generate ratings.
You got to Yes, you have. Yeah, you're the greatest. People got to acknowledge you as the greatest. Not just a small niche 400K fans. You got to have millions of people out here being like, yo, this person is the greatest. I'm watching this product casually because of this person. Ain't nobody watching no goddamn Mercedes Mone. Cut the bullshit.
This has been Cut My Music Wrestling Uncut. I'm the Black Patriot.
Hey, I'm Martha MD. This shit is crazy.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Hey, hold on. And guys, remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. And help us reach our milestone on both channels. Cut My Music Wrestling and Cut My Music Wrestling Cut. Help us generate and get to this 100 subscriber landmark milestone for both channels, please. And we're going to be doing a giveaway, so we really appreciate the support.
It's a small thing to you, but for us, it means the world.
Yes. Appreciate
Peace
you
out.
guys.
Stay safe.